And welcome back to The Nose Plays. Today we're going to be picking up a brand new game of Thea 2. I haven't played Thea 2 on camera in a while, but I did go back and play a little bit off camera. I was enjoying it, so I decided it's time to bring it back to the channel for a little bit. I'm pretty excited about this playthrough. I don't know how well it's going to go. One of the things that we noticed in my last playthrough is that despite the fact that the difficulty that I had chosen in the options said normal, it actually wasn't. There was a custom difficulty that had been set. I don't know if it was something that I had been playing around with at one point in time, or if it was something that an update changed. But either way, the difficulty that we were playing at in the last game, where I had all of those extra heroes, was not the normal difficulty. It was a custom difficulty, which is why it was a little weird, even though it said normal when I would check it in the settings menu. So I have fixed that. I do have the difficulty set to normal, and this is all the normal settings for the normal difficulty. Even changing it to the easy difficulty doesn't get us the settings that we had before. They were actually like a completely custom group of settings, so I must have been playing around with it at one point in time. But we are going to play on normal difficulty. I went ahead and I unlocked Horz, and Horz is an interesting god to follow in the game. He has some cool abilities that I want to go over real quick before we start the game. So the first ability that he has is Nocturnal Predator. Our chosen character and all of our characters in our party have increased visibility range, wits, perception, and destiny at night. So perception and destiny based characters are going to be particularly viable during the nighttime on the map. But those stats are decreased during the day. The Chosen can also summon a werewolf, which makes for a nice early summoning ability so that you can tank damage, essentially. And the werewolf is very powerful. So you can summon that into power. Beast power is dependent on the Chosen's perception attribute. So the higher your perception is, the more powerful the werewolf will be. It's pretty good. I did get to play around with it a little bit in some of my off-camera games. We also have 1 point in the domain of nature, so we'll have some nature-related quest lines and options. We have 1 domain of magic, and then we have 4 domain of neutral. But this Nocturnal Predator is really where we want to kind of focus this character. And so my goal for this game is to play the game a little bit differently. One of the things that really turned me on to the game of Thea is it's not like a typical 4X where the game is the same every time you play. It's actually very flexible, and you can play the game in a lot of different ways. And so what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to play sort of a Hunter of the Night. We're going to play a character that is specifically designed around combat and hunting down monsters, and that's what we're going to try to do, just hunt monsters. We're not going to worry about building a village. We're just going to worry about leveling up our Chosen and getting them as powerful as possible, building a nice party of companions to help them in that endeavor, and getting into as much combat as possible. So that's how we're going to play this one. That also means that this playthrough could be very short, or we could have multiple plays where we die a couple times and try again. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how much interest I get in viewership. That will help keep it going a little bit longer. But I think it's been a little too long to pick up the He Shoot game that we had been playing in Endless Space 2, and there's some other things that I'm looking at doing for the channel right now, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger on any of them yet. So I figured this would be a good compromise to come back to Thea 2 and play this for a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started by picking our traits. We have one Nocturnal Predator trait one, well, Nocturnal Predator is one of our free traits. We have the nature trait, the magic trait, and all of this. And I think I'm actually, this is the thing that I ran with last time. I'm actually going to run with this again. We are going to make the hunter our chosen. We get a scavenger and a warrior. We start with some advanced equipment, some tools, and some basic supplies. I could also start with the crow and some gems. Let's do that instead of the crafting tools. So we'll start with the crow's hidden gems and a crow as a pet. That should be good. What does Granny's Pantry do? 10 to 15 basic food and 1 piece of equipment. Or just 40 basic supplies. I think I'm going to go with the Granny's Pantry instead. But we're going to have a warrior, a scavenger, and a hunter. We're only going to start with 3 characters, and our chosen will be the hunter character. And let's see, which one of these hunters? We can also go with the female hunters. That one's actually kind of cool looking. We don't have a wolf, but that could be like our werewolf. Let's go with the dark head, mean looking one. She looks pretty brutal. She looks like a monster hunter. Go ahead and go with her as our chosen. And we'll play with the default map settings. Alright, so Horz is sort of the ruler of the night. You could kind of liken him to Hades in a sense. It's kind of the sense that I get. He's sort of in charge of all the monsters, but he's also in command of them. So he kind of keeps them in line and keeps them in check so that they're not
hello there,
too out of control.
Welcome into
that's
the
kind of what we're
service
going to
of
do.
the gods. As I am about.
I'm going to skip.
All right.
I'm going to skip the Theodore stuff. We've seen it enough times. I don't need to hear it again. So anytime he pops up, we'll just skip to our characters. And the first thing I want to do is take a look at our equipment and see if there's anything that we want to equip. So we did start with a trained wild boar on our scavenger, which is kind of cool. The crow increases perception, which should definitely go on our hunter. And it looks like we have some armor, and we also have a two-handed sword, which our warrior might be able to take advantage of. And then we have a hatchet. Let's take a look at the warrior. He's got an attack of 8, and he's got no armor. I can throw that on him for sure. Yeah, that's really good armor now. But very low damage. The total amount of shielding is 65. Wow, so he is quite a tank with that setup. But not very good at damage. What if we give him the two-handed sword? It goes down to 63, but his damage goes up to 14, and he has a swipe attack. That seems a lot better. So let's go with that. And then this character has really reasonable purple stats. And remember, we benefit from Destiny. And so we want to basically buff this character's Destiny attribute and make this kind of our mage. So we've got our warrior tank, our mage, and this will be our chosen damage dealer. The damage is not great right now, but we have a pretty crappy set of javelins. We'll have to remedy that at some point. I also have this scroll. That uses mysticism, which is not an attribute we're particularly good with, and random blast is not a very good spell at low levels anyways. So we'll probably just end up breaking these down into pieces or selling them. But the nice great dark sword and the heavy armor is pretty cool to start with. That gives us a really good chance to win some physical combat early on, which is what we're looking to do. Taking a look at our supplies, we currently have 12 turns of fuel and 20 turns of food. Fuel is only used by camps and villages, so we don't really have to worry about running out of fuel if we're not camping. We have some berries right here and also some wood. Let's take a look at cooking. One of the best ways to get a good start in the game is to cook as much food as possible because it boosts your morale, and a high morale is really good for your characters. We don't want to eat any of this meat. I want to cook with it. So we can cook some of this. I want to go to this screen, and we want to disable using this or this for food at the moment because those are cooking ingredients. So we'll just check those off of the menu. And let's see. You need one character to cook. The best character for cooking is actually Isa. What about gathering? She's also the best gatherer. The other two characters aren't terrible at gathering though. So I think we'll put her as the cook. And then she can gather wood and he can gather berries. That's going to take way too long. If we put them both on berries, we can at least get berries in 3 turns. So we'll do that. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to spend just a couple of turns gathering some supplies and cooking up some yummy foods.
As tradition has it.
Which also finishes this quest here.
Yummy! Well done!
Which gets us even more
and
yummy.
Here, one must have a good drink too.
Yeah. We know. It's like we've done this before, Theo. Okay, she is no longer able to cook any more of this because we ran out of meat. They're going to finish that in 1 turn. I'll just have her gather here. It doesn't really matter. I guess I could take 2 turns. We'll just go with this. This will be fine. Okay, and then I guess the second thing that I want to consider doing, since we are in autumn, and since we are not using our seed for anything, is consider making the ring. So if we wanted to make a ring, it looks like we have to use at least tier 3 materials to craft one. And the lightest tier 3 material is going to be diamond, which gives us a total essence of 38.2. Obsidian is 39. Dragon bone is 41. And mithril is 42. All of these give a pretty reasonable amount of shielding in all combats, as well as some increased stats. And we can also summon a demon. Being able to summon 2 minions to tank shots for us is pretty powerful, and definitely something we should consider crafting soon. But we don't have access to that yet, so it's going to take us some time. Let me just double check here. Yeah, we don't need to wait for this wood. Do we? I'm going to go ahead and break camp. We're going to travel up to finish Theodore's quest and see what we can find. Remember, Our ability to fight during the daytime is slightly impaired, but is better at night. So daytime right now is not a great time for us to fight. That's not good. This is a 3-turn illness. Okay. We did find some elven wood. And actually, there's more elven wood over here. Do I have any movement points left? I do not. I think we should set up camp and gather some stuff for a few turns. Ooh, these are going to be tricky to get much out of. Our gathering stats are very low right now. We could try and crafting some tools to help us. Gathering tools. Elven wood is actually pretty good. How much would that give us? Like 3.4 with a weight of 31. Kind of heavy. The topaz would be ideal, but we don't have a topaz deposit that we see yet. And nobody has a very high gathering rate, so a percent-based gathering tool is not going to be very useful. But we definitely need to get some made. I don't think now's the time. I think what we want to do is spend 3 turns gathering whatever we can here. Fish are going to be the easiest to gather. That's going to take 4 turns. With those 2 on that. The last guy, starting next turn, he'll be able to maybe craft. Well, no, we won't have the fish for a little while. That's way too long. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess we'll just put him on gathering wheat, even though he's never going to actually get it. Just so he's doing something in case you get XP for that. I never have checked that conclusively. Alright, so we got our first point. That's 1 turn of the curse down, and we've got our first level. So let's take a look at what stats we ended up with. Most of these are pretty straightforward for us. That's going to benefit us. That's not as beneficial as Destiny would be. I think the strength or the wits are probably more valuable for this character, and I'm leaning towards the strength just so we have more carrying capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the strength on this character for now. Also, this gives us health, which is nice since we are going to be in a lot of combat. And then on our Choosen, I'm also leaning towards the health. I know perception is really important for us, but the ability to wear armor and carry more weapons is also good. And taking a look at our Choosen, we only have a strength of 4, which is pretty low, so we probably should get some more. Boosting her up to a strength of 6. Probably don't need to go much higher than 6, at least in the early game, but that's actually pretty good. 2 points in the strength is also a fair amount of health, so I like that a lot. Everybody will get healthier, and then we have another point to spend. I'm leaning towards grabbing elven wood so we can start gathering elven wood for crafting purposes, but I'm going to hold off until we scout a little bit more. And then we had a couple more turns of the curse that we needed to deal with, so we got 3 turns till that gets completed. So that's 2 turns. We'll fight this, and I'm going to go ahead and do manual combat just so I can show off the werewolf early on, because he's pretty freaking cool. One of the things about the werewolf is the werewolf basically has a very fast attack. And so it's kind of beneficial to play him near the end, but at the same time, you want to place him in a spot where you know he's going to get to do damage. So I'm going to go ahead and place him against this bird, because this bird's going to be the first attacker. The werewolf will soak that attack and probably do pretty good damage. Yeah, he's got an 11 for his first attack. And then we can actually put our mage character sort of behind the werewolf and sort of protect her maybe. She doesn't have a lot of stats. He's got a ton of armor and he's got a swipe attack, so he can actually hit both of those by placing him here, which is good. And then I can throw her behind that, which will do a little bit of damage to that bird first. And then she actually has a boar, which I can summon there to soak a hit, which is nice. And that ends our turn. So we'll see how this goes. We should win this pretty handily and not take any serious damage. Very nice. Looks like we found some eggs, and we did take a little bit of physical damage, but we should be fine. Let's take a look at our characters just to be sure. I like the equipment screen the best for that. So we got a couple extra points of health on our Choosen. I think we were at 22 before I leveled her up in strength, so that's good. And nobody else is really injured. Just her. That kind of sucks. That's fine. We're going to sit here for a couple of turns to get rid of the curse. And that will actually improve us quite a bit. Also, we're moving from daytime to night, so in a couple of turns it'll be nighttime, and we will be much more effective in combat. I say much, it's not really that big of a bonus, but... Okay, so we've got the fish now. The curse should be lifted. And notice our gathering rates are all better now because the curse has been lifted. Also, our stats have improved because, again, the curse that we had before the illness was debuffing all of our stats, which... not cool. Need to go to the gathering screen real quick. I kind of want to spend one more turn gathering fish. If I do that, I should be able to craft some fish cakes. And if I put my best character on that, and then we go back to gathering, move him to there. It's 2 turns. That's fine. We'll do 2 turns of this and 2 turns of fish cakes. So that's 1 turn of fish cakes and 2 turns of fish cakes. There we go. And we got more fish. Let's go to group info, and I'll disable the fish for now. And we'll try to save the fish and berries for crafting. Actually, I've already used up a bunch of the fish, and I don't have enough to craft anymore. So we'll just go ahead and turn these both on. Also, I don't want to use elven wood for burning, unless we run out of the other wood. Alright. And now it's time to finish
you find
the Theodore
Theodore's
quest.
abandoned. Inside, there is no way out. The doors are gone. You will have to face this hag to escape.
Alright. So let's go ahead and fight the witch. I guess we'll throw him out first this time. Let's see how this works. I can place him here and here and cover the entire front row. if we use him twice. Alright, so she put down 2 rats. I'm gonna go ahead and put a second copy of him down right here. And then I'll use the werewolf there. And we'll put the... Do I want to use the werewolf or the wand? Let's put the wand here. And then I can stick her. And I can do 8 damage with this, which actually does 150% damage if the target has armor, and she does. But if I choose this, where will she go off? She'll go off after the werewolf has already attacked, so her armor will already be shredded. So let's not do that ability. Let's go ahead and do this one instead. Actually get the armor down anyways.
You defeat the witch, and the hut changes back into an old, decrepit building.
Took some more damage on our Choosen. That kind of sucks. We did get some herbs, and we found a dryad wand, which is slightly better than the wand that we have, so...
Theodore appears.
Well done indeed. As chosen, it is your job to stay alive. You must either dominate the lands or solve the Shattering's mystery, or else all is lost. And for...
Alright. Again, we'll skip a lot of the Theodore stuff. Let's take a look at... Yeah, we're like at 50% health right now. So we definitely want to try to get healed up. This is where our morale is at right now. Health regeneration is currently at +1. If we can get a couple more points of morale, we can get health regeneration up another point, which is nice. And also, we can eventually get more vision and movement. So that's one of the reasons why I like to focus on food in the early game. It just makes everything you do a little bit safer. Unfortunately, we don't have any gatherers in this party, which is good, because they're not very good in combat. But it's also kind of rough, because we can't get food very quickly when we do need to. Let's move up here to this spot. Got a little bit of movement left. I kind of want to stay here because I can gather the wheat if we do camp for a turn. We are kind of low on fuel, so I think we will go ahead and confirm this, and we will spend a couple of turns gathering elven wood and wheat. So we need to set up camp, put my best gatherer on that. Yeah, it's not quite enough. I was trying to get them both to 4 turns. It doesn't look like I can. So that's what we will do for now. I'm gonna have to enable
Now that you have had a little time to get your bearings, how about doing me and your gods a bit of a favor, eh?
Sure. Okay, that's our quest out that way. if I swap these guys around, I could get this in 3 turns. Yeah, I still can't quite get it to 4. I need to switch that around too. Oh, I hate that. What is it, tab? There we go. Alright, let's enable that. Alright. You walk through the forest and realize that the shrubbery beneath your feet is in turmoil as if it was alive. Trample whatever is beneath you or tread carefully and stay vigilant. We're not afraid of things in the dark. We are the things that things in the dark should be afraid of. You stomp around trying to squash the creatures, but you're not sure if you got them, or you just trampled some shrubbery. Still, at least it's quiet now. Okay. Our hero has leveled up. We have a luck. And we have Ghostly Axe. I like the idea of leveling up Ghostly Axe because it does give us a perception-based attack in purple challenges, which we may occasionally get stuck doing. So we want some kind of ability to be successful. So leveling that up will help. Let's go ahead and go another turn, and then I'm going to take a look at our situation here. So we should be really close to finishing both of these tasks now. If I move him to that one, nope. What if I move her to that one? I still can't get this one down. Alright. So 2 turns it is. Camp, and let's head this direction. Okay, so that's cool. Terrain artifacts are cool. They tend to have higher tier materials underneath them, so there's a chance that we could find a tier 3 material here, and we could use that tier 3 material to eventually craft our ring that we were looking at earlier. Bee's nest. That sounds like a reasonably good challenge for us, so let's go ahead and tackle that. We'll come back to this once we've scouted this area a little bit more thoroughly. There's also a lot of wood over here, so we can grab wood. If we stand in this spot, we can do wheat, wood, and the terrain artifact all at the same time, which is good because that way you don't starve or run out of fuel while you're gathering it. Yeah. Out of movement. Do the bee's nest first. Clear the nest. Let's see, they've got blood bees and dragon bees. What does the auto resolve say? It says a perfect victory. I'll accept the outcome of that. 11 beetle jelly. Out of curiosity, I think I have to set up camp to check this, but I think beetle jelly counts as a meat, which means we actually have enough fish and enough beetle jelly to craft a couple of things from our berries and our herbs, which I think we should definitely do. So, what I want to do is turn off all of these as food items for a brief period of time here. This screen, so we want to turn that off. Everything else is probably fine. And then the next opportunity we get to set up camp, we'll want to craft those food items.
You come to a small village, and despite the calm weather outside, you see storm clouds hanging over this settlement, and lightning dancing threateningly around the palisade.
Okay, so we can skip this story since this is one that you do every game. We could also attack the village. It's not a good idea to generally do that, especially if you plan on trading with these people at some point, which we definitely are going to need to do. We'll just skip the story.
Well, I don't know. We listened to a chosen one once before.
We can fight them, but if we lose, they're not going to be very happy with us. I don't know that we're strong enough with the 3 that we have, but with the items we started with, we might be. Convincing them is really easy, though. Let's go ahead and try it. A level 3 challenge is not going to be easy, but keep in mind we have a werewolf and a boar to help soak some of the damage. We're probably... Well, actually, we can accept a perfect victory. So... yeah.
You destroy the village, and the storm lessens. Those who were left alive run away, relieved that they can leave this place now. Some even thank you as they depart.
Well, that worked out. I don't think I've ever actually accomplished this task that way before. Let's see. We got some crappy bone javelins, a dumb bow, a bad sword, but we did get a bunch of wood and clay, and nut tidiker. Also some leather robes.
Well done, Choosen. This should teach them a lesson, to be sure. Now, of course, this means you made some enemies, and you will not be able to trade with them or heal in their medicine huts and so on. Still, fate is yours to command.
I suppose that's fitting. We are sort of the wild animals.
Now that you have destroyed the heretics, I advise you stay vigilant for
Of
any of
Choosen.
your friends. That is all from me for now. The gods will call upon you again soon enough. For now, try to stay alive.
Alright, so that's kind of cool. That's a different one that I've done before. And that's the other thing that's neat about this game. There are a lot of different paths to complete the same tasks. And if you're willing to try different things, sometimes you get neat rewards like this. Although, for our party, this is not that exciting. But it would be for a different party. Also, minus 20 with the Slivian, which are humans, but we did get a nice chunk of experience and research out of it. So humans are not going to be very happy with us if we run into them later on. That could be problematic. I've got one more point of movement. I'm going to go ahead and move up here, and sure enough, some more humans. These guys don't look particularly scary. They might be part of the group that ran away, or they could be part of the different group. I suppose we'll find out in a turn. Nighttime's almost over, so if we do want to fight them, we'll want to do it soon. Also, I should check the character's health. Everybody's topped off again? Yeah, everybody's doing fine now. Lots of groups of humans running around. Lutic and Oda. I'll save that for later. Isa is our scavenger. We could go to 2 points in weakness. Lowers a opponent's attacking abilities. So this is kind of like Hunter's Mark. It's it's a reasonable skill and could come in handy. However, because we don't have anybody who's any good at crafting, and we are going to be crafting a ring here pretty soon, I think I'm going to go for the one in crafting. He's got a strength of 10. Counterattack is actually kind of nice. This is based on intelligence. Each enemy that deals damage to you will also receive damage. That's pretty good since we plan on tanking a lot with him. Versus Headbutt, which just has a stunning effect, which can be handy, but I think this is going to be more reliable. So we'll confirm that, and then decide if we're going to keep attacking humans or if we're going to look for more dangerous game. They are hostile to us, but that's because we destroyed their village, so... If you're ever curious whether enemies are hostile to you or not, this is where you would find that out. Because we gathered minus 20 points with the humans, we're now in a hostile situation with them. So they will attack us. I'm not going to go out of my way to attack them, but if they do attack us, we'll just destroy them. Some meat. Alright. This looks like a good place to set up camp for a turn. Actually, I do have enough movement to get over here, though. We should use all of our movement every turn to scout the map, unless there's something really important that we want to gather. And at the moment, there's not anything super important to gather. However, I may go ahead and camp just so we can get that extra food made. Yeah. How long would it take us to do? Say some of that pudding. It would only take one turn for her. We'll just camp for one turn. I can also make some more fish cakes, or I could make some grilled fish. I don't have any grilled fish yet. And we can actually get that done in one turn if both of these guys work on it. So we'll just do one turn. The armed group did decide to attack us to their detriment, and I could take another perfect victory, so... we got a nice iron sword, some more armor, a wand, and a crossbow. Research material acquired, human warriors. I actually forgot last turn before the fight to get some better equipment going here. So she's got 5. Wands. This one is quite a bit better, so we should swap that in. Javelins are the same, but these ones are actually quite a bit lighter, so we'll swap those ones in. Also, if we wanted to, we could give her the crossbow. It's not as much damage, but it does give a targeted attack. I think we'll just go ahead and keep the javelin for now. Yeah, and that was our crappy scroll from the beginning of the game. And the bow is pretty garbage as well, so yeah, this is fine. We can break camp and continue scouting. Herbs are really nice to have. Herbs are good because you can use them if you have large enough quantities to improve your faith. Also, taking a look at our map gives me a better idea of which way I want to move. So it looks like we actually kind of want to go this way to follow the coast. It also looks like some fog is sort of rolling in here. There we got blood bone and iron. I can set up camp again and we can cook a few more things. Or not. It looks like we've made all the beetle jelly into food already, so. Alright. Is there anything else? I'm not really interested in gathering blood bone right now, so I think we're going to just skip the turn. Go. That gave me some good vision. But again, not a lot. We got granite and clay. It's very slow moving through the forest and mountain terrain, but you do benefit from being on top of higher terrain, like mountaintops, will give you much higher vision of the surrounding area, which is nice. Alright, an adventure. You find an old house overgrown with greenery. Get through the shrubbery. Oh, well, that's not good. We've got toxin. Toxins rage through your bloodstream. We take damage for a couple of turns, it looks like. For 3 turns. Go inside. Alright, as you try to go through the shrubbery and vines, you are stung by poisonous plant. The way is now clear. You enter a nicely kept family house. There's a stove, table, bedding, up on a ledge, pottery, and hay on the floor, all kept tidy and livable, yet no people in sight. Search the house. As you rummage through the house, you spot a small, fatty creature with a bushy beard, large dark eyes, and disproportionately long arms, holding a tiny broom. It glares at you disapprovingly. Kill it. You kill the creature, but just as it dies, the whole house collapses on your heads. 8 monster bone, 5 enchanted leather, and we take a little bit more damage. Also some experience and research points. And we can move again. Let's go to there. There's a couple of tiles north of me that I haven't scouted yet. Alright. Well, that was kind of pointless. Find something to some quest or something. Oh, here we go. Boar's lair, that'll help. Maybe. Our food situation's pretty good for a while. And I imagine once we clear this boar's lair out, we will have some more food. I can use my hunter ability to smoke them out, or we can just clear the lair through brute force. 10 more meat. That is turned off. That can be turned on. berries in reserve so we can make some more Rolanda cakes. Alright. So one of the things that you do, let's go back to the screen. One of the things that you do when your characters take damage is they consume their morale in order to regenerate health. So having high morale, if you do get injured, is one of the ways that you basically keep your characters alive, because they'll consume a bunch of their morale, but they won't actually die in most cases. So that's good to know. Alright, let's just head straight down the coast, I guess. And we found another terrain artifact. We should definitely consider doing some gathering at some point, but I'm probably going to wait. The autumn season is all about crafting, and enemies are more aggressive. So that's what we're going to focus on, is maybe doing some crafting and some fighting. Most of the crafting we're doing right now is food. Out of curiosity, with our two best gatherers, it would take 7 turns to get this terrain artifact. We're going to have to do better than that. We're going to have to get some crafting tools made, but I'm looking for particular materials to make them out of. Also, I kind of need to keep my eye out in case we do want to drop a village somewhere, but I'm unlikely to do that. You sit down to rest by a tall tree and notice a stork stands proudly on top of it. The bird's beak is lowered, and you see that its feathers are ruffled. Take a closer look at the bird. Just ignore the bird and move to another tree before it shits on you. We'll take a closer look. You climb up the tree as not to spook the stork and investigate. The bird's foot is caught in a metal trap, and this trap is not tangled in the branches of this tree. Try to free the bird or put it out of its misery. We'll try and free it. You free the stork, and although its foot is still hurt, at least it's free of the trap. The majestic bird circles over you 3 times, changes directions, makes another 3 turns. You feel a stork blessing is bestowed upon your kin. So we took a little bit of damage, but we got some mental blessings, which improves our yellow stats for a brief period of time. Also, a physical blessing for a brief period of time. This will last for 2 turns, this will last for 3, and these blessings do stack, so that's kind of handy. So we got another advancement point. A lot of wood over here. I guess that makes sense. It is a forest, right? Alright, we got silver? Yeah. Silver's actually a decent crafting material. It's lighter than most other metals, which is nice. So if we were going to do some crafting, gathering tools are not made out of metal, but crafting tools are. And we could make a worker's aid, which increases crafting by 2.5 and has a total weight of 40. We could also use amber, which doesn't quite hit the mark at 2.0, just shy of 2.0. But the weight is only 32. I think this would be a reasonable crafting, so I'm going to go ahead and design this and then add it to my favorites list. Let's go to gathering. I can't actually see it because I haven't learned it yet. We probably need to make one crafting tool and 2 gathering tools. So let's go ahead and unlock silver. That's not as bad as I thought. Only 4 turns to get some more silver. And I think we have 10 currently. And we only need 19, it looks like. So yeah, we should be able to get that done after we get this gathering completed. Cooking and composites. We do have those steaks. We do have some more of these, so we can go ahead and get some more of this done. And that's perfect because it'll take him 4 turns to craft both of those. And it'll take us 4 turns to get that done. Alright, this time we're definitely going to take the perception, which is our primary trait. We've uncovered some underground tunnels. We could throw some torches in first to investigate, or we could just go in. I think the Chosen of Horz is not afraid of the dark, so we're just going to go in. The tunnels were used as a hideout once, or perhaps they were a remnant of Dwarven outposts. Either way, there are clearly some resources here. However, you see a nest of vipers sprawling inside, and they see you. Well, let's just attack them, shall we? Perfect victory. Cool. More meat and some blood bone. Also, some amber, which could be handy, and even more meat. And we have the snake research now, which is good. And this character has leveled up, and we definitely want the destiny, because that's her primary trait. Cool. Things are going pretty well for us so far. Actually very happy with the way things have gone so far. I've had some games that were pretty rough starts, so so far so good. 1 turn away from getting this. That's fine. And then once that's done, perhaps we move? Actually, we got more meat, so he can continue to work on that. And then we can move her. That'll take 5 turns, but if she helps, it'll only take 4. So 8 turns for that, but he can probably help finish that off once he's done with this. How many turns does he have on cooking? Yeah, let's let her continue to gather more silver. There's a chance we could use it for something. Ooh. Light demons. Alright, so he is now done with this task. And we can go to gathering, and that's going to be 4 turns. That's going to be 3 turns. That'll work. Looks like we might get attacked here. I actually don't need that in the queue anymore. Alright, and we have our first tool. If we go to equipment, go ahead and equip this on her and increase her crafting stats to 11, which is pretty reasonable. And that should help us get some crafting tools made. So while I still have the benefit of autumn, how many more turns do we have? 5 more turns? I want to try and craft a couple of tools for gathering. If I can go to the right buttons here. Alright, so we have a fair amount of elven wood, and I also have some leather and some gems. It looks like we didn't get enough gems to actually do what I wanted to do. I needed a few more of these, but I might be able to turn these topaz into amber. So we might be able to do something like this. And that's actually 2.8 or 27%. So this would be like 2.7 if you had 10 gathering. So what we want to do before we design this is take a look at our group. This is my favorite screen to do that. And then we look at gathering. Hers is 5. His is dismal at 2. So a percent-based gathering tool is going to be terrible on these characters. Even hers is only 5, so actually the flat one is the one to go. So if we did the elven wood with the amber, the weight shouldn't be too bad. 33, it's pretty reasonable, and it's almost 3 points, which is basically more than our warrior's gathering is at its base value. So we're definitely going to try to design 2 of these. But I have one other task that's going to need done, and that is materials. And because I don't have coal, I could make 3 amber from every topaz with a piece of coal, but I don't have any coal. So that's out of the question. Let's go back to the gathering screen real quick. These 2 can get that done in 1 turn. Be it a monologue of great importance, a beautiful song, or a seductive lyric, a someone is trying to entrance you with their silver tongues. Resist the charms. Auto Resolve says we will victory with injuries. Let's see if we can't resolve this manually more effectively. Unfortunately, it looks like I can still use my boar, so that's one thing. This is the only card that they have. So let's see. What is his attack? Ooh, it's pretty dismal. This one actually could be very useful since it's a single character. Spamming this ability over and over again reduces the damage that this thing can deal to us. So let's start with that. Did not do what I expected it to. We'll go ahead and put her out. Okay, targets 2 or more enemies. So I sort of messed up. Her second attack is going to be too slow. But his first attack will be also too slow. Alright, well, we'll have to play her for now. I only have 1 point left, right? Yeah, we're at the end of combat now. Which I guess is fine. We'll just do that. Alright. This shouldn't be too bad. There we go. And they didn't even break through our shielding, so that was good. We got the research materials, and we did that without taking any significant damage. Also, this character has leveled up. Brute Force actually uses intelligence, as does retaliation, as does headbutt. So getting his intelligence up actually wouldn't be a bad idea. +2 perception is also decent because it does increase his health. And his gathering, which is terrible. So I think in most cases, when you look at health pools, perception is basically half. So you get 10 from strength. Every point of strength gives you 1 point of health, and then every 2 points of perception gives you 1 point of health. So this is essentially like 1 extra point of health. I think I'm actually going to go for the intelligence just because we don't know how often we're going to roll that. We're likely to roll strength pretty regularly for this character class. I think it has a higher than normal chance. I just noticed Sedgehammer listed a comment. He says, "Hi Nose, was thinking about grabbing this one. I saw it was on sale. Not sure if it still is though." It should be on sale for like 8 hours, I think. I checked some games earlier, and most of the sales said 12 hours were left from this last week. So if it was on sale this last week, it should still be on sale for a few more hours on Steam. Zed says, "Hi mate, just found your channel this month. Been loving it. Keep up the good work." Thanks a lot, Zed. I appreciate it. I haven't been around the last couple of weeks. The last week or so has been kind of sparse, but I did do that that video for the Endless Zone, which was a pretty cool little game that Amplitude dropped on us out of nowhere. If you haven't checked that one out, you should. It's a fun little tribute to their partnership with Sega Genesis. I guess it's not Sega Genesis. I always think of the Sega Genesis, but Sega, the company, the Sonic company, the Hedgehog one. Alright, we're crafting this. I need to, I guess let's see how long it would take to craft this. So if we moved her over here, it's only 3 turns. I think it's worth waiting 3 more turns. And then I can put him there. Ooh. That's really bad. His gathering's so terrible. That's why we need to craft this though, right? Alright. Well, we'll wait 3 more turns. One turn. 2 turns. You awake at night to discover a shack eating your supplies. What a little turd. We can do the demon game if we want to, or we can just kill it. Let's go ahead and do the demon game. There's better rewards if you do the demon game. We'll go talk to the mooch. We need some quests. We will finish this task though. I guess I'll just run one more time. It'll pop up whenever we finish it. As you travel across the plains, you hear a screeching sound from a nearby patch of shrubbery. Investigate. You come closer and see a small furry creature with yellow eyes and sharp teeth. Its body torn up and trapped in some orc-made snares. Put it out of its misery, leave it be. We're not scared of orcs, we're gonna help the little fella out. You get it free of the snares, but its wounds are clearly infected with some nasty poison. The toxic green stuff is spreading fast and the creature doesn't even cry out anymore. This could be contagious. Let's try and help it out. Auto-resolving says victory with injuries. Let's resolve manually and see if we can do better. Now that I have a better idea of our abilities, we might be able to do a little bit better. But there are a lot of cards in this deck, so we're gonna have to be careful. I definitely am gonna have to use her attack at least twice, because it's the only attack that does any damage. And then I have the boar, right? No, I don't. Not in this. This is oh, the special type of event. I can't remember what it's called. Concept challenge, I guess, is I think the name of it. He actually has reasonable damage now that we increased his intelligence. So we'll put him there. Alright, the brain's over there. It only has an attack of 4. This one has an attack of 10. We should definitely use her ability and try to lower the stats on this. That did not do much. Oh, because these are different cards. I didn't notice that. Cards that are duplicates have this little symbol and they're color-coded, so you know that they are tied together. That's unfortunate. So we definitely want to play her again. Alright, the book I'm not too worried about. It's got a pretty low attack as well. If we play this again on the same 2 cards, it should lower the damage. And it did. But now we're out of abilities, so I guess here we go. Oh, goody, we get first attack, and we can do 13 damage to a single target. So I could get the book out of play right away. We could also kill the brain right away, but it only does 4. I think we want to kill this one first, because it has 2 attacks and it's up here twice. Yeah, that worked out pretty well for us. And now we can use her to clear one of these. We'll clear the book before the book gets a chance to attack. And then both of our attacks go off first again, so we'll clear this first because it's more dangerous. And that will be that. I guess we have yeah, we won't have to worry about much else. If we can level that up, the stat decrease could be very helpful in these combats. Woo-woo. Alright, another challenge completed.
Shaken in your sleep, you wake to find yourself fallen from a hammock onto dry, brittle soil.
Alright, we'll skip this. Just more of the basic quest, and we did get our tool, which we really need to get into the hands of this very incompetent gatherer. Alright, that will be done in one turn. What can she do for a turn? Maybe we can cook something. We do have some meat, and I actually have some spices. So let's cook some ham. That'll only take her one turn. She's really good at crafting. And we're gonna have to find some gems. Also, we have the curve game, and some other marker up here I'm not sure about. That might be the one that we just got from the quest. The one that I skipped over and didn't want to read. Okay, winter time is here. So, in order to min-max, and this is not super important, but if you wanted to, every season sort of has a theme that you should try to accomplish as many of a certain type of task during that season as possible. Wintertime is all about combat. So, every event that we encounter, we get double XP from. Enemies are more aggressive during night. Monsters spawn more regularly, so there's a lot more fighting available to us. And resources cost more. Also, recovering any of your stats requires camping or a village. So normally, you recover stats regardless of whether you're camped or in a village. During the wintertime, you'll only recover your stats if you're camped or in a village, and it does cost 2 fuel per turn instead of 1. And then gathering is just generally more difficult, so you don't want to be doing a lot of gathering in the wintertime. You want to have most of your gathering done before winter. Now, unfortunately for us, we only have 15 turns of fuel, and that has largely to do with this increased fuel usage. And there are 36 turns of winter. So if we do a lot of camping like we're doing now, we're going to run out of fuel very quickly. However, we don't want to be doing that anyways. We want to be running around getting all these quests and clearing these easy enemies out as much as possible. So that we can get the XP bonus and level up. So we'll be fighting these guys as often as possible. I'm going to do a lot of auto-resolving just to speed it up. And then I can almost get to that, or we could head down here. I think I'm going to kind of loop around this way. The river makes movement difficult, so I'll move here just to uncover some vision, and then we'll just end the turn. I should be able to cross the river with my next turn.
As the sun rises high, you feel its gentle warmth on your skin and rejoice at the growing strength of the light over darkness. But as you do so, you begin to feel uneasy. The warmth becomes ever more constant, unrelenting, the air stale and oppressive.
Let's do this one.
As you slowly move away, you soon see that the sun's rays are full of odd creatures. These light wisps are trying to attach themselves to you with their tentacles, and they are burning through your body and spirit. Your domain remains neutral to this assault, which allows you greater clarity of mind to resist the attack.
Alright, so we're all about physical fighting, so we're going to take this one, and we should get a perfect victory.
You remain strong and balanced, committed to neither light nor darkness in your domain, so the wisps seem unable to reach you. Seeing their failure, the wisps flicker away towards the sun and disappear.
Alright, skip the commentary again. We got some physical blessings, which are awesome. Also, we've got some mithril, which is one of the items, or one of the materials we can use to craft our ring. We can get 10 free mithril by learning it in the crafting tree. So that puts us at 15. So, out of curiosity, if we set up camp for just a second and I go to crafting, it's 21, so we're a little more than halfway there. We only need 6 mithril in order to craft this very nice ring. I'm going to go ahead and confirm this design and save it to favorites. I forgot to save the other tool to favorites, which we're running out of Elvenwood because we're spending it as fuel. I should probably remedy that. It's over here. We can turn that off. Once we use up this wood, we'll enable it again, but there's no need to do that, and we don't need to be camped. Not this turn anyways. Some more levels, that's good. We should definitely get Gathering, and Isa could level up Trash Attack. I'm not a huge fan of Trash Attack. It's nice that it has the ability to be used in 3 different types of combat, but it's all stats that we're not particularly great with. Strength, Intelligence, and Mysticism are not really high stats for us. So yeah, we're not going to do that. We'll just keep leveling up Weakness. This is actually really helpful in some combats, and if we get this high enough, it could be really good for us. Alright. Go ahead and attack this Lightbringer Wisp. And get some more of these lovelies. And check out this point of interest. Scout the area first or search the ruins carefully. Let's be good warrior hunters and scout first. Use the element of surprise and sneak attack. Free resources and an iron hatchet. Axes are actually really decent weapons, especially when you pair them with a shield. But they only are single target. They don't have the sweeping attack that our two-handed sword has. Also some clay. Alright, we need to head over to this. And actually, a Lightbringer spawn. We should take that out. But we could also set up camp and gather some wood. Really? Still takes 2 turns to gather wood. In 3 turns, we would maybe gather 3 bundles of wood. Is there any cooking I can do right now? Not particularly. Any research I can do right now? Who's any good at research? Nobody. She's okay at it. If we move her to research, yeah, not really okay at it at all. I do need to gather some more wood, so we'll go ahead and do this for now. I can move her down there, and we'll finish this off. In 2 turns, we'll get 2 things of wood. That'll be worth it. Another point and another level. New toughness. Increase max faith and health by 5, or headbutt. Increase his stun attack. We're gonna go for the stats. And finish that off. That should give us the 12 wood. And that gives us a few more turns. Go take on the Lightbringer camp. An adventure. Before we get there, you're about to set up camp. A group of goblin travelers approaches, asking for shelter. Welcome to camp. We should be helping one another, attacking them, or refuse. I'm not a fan of goblins. I think we're going to be hostile towards goblins, so we'll just attack these guys. Victory with injuries. We could do better than that. So we get the first action. Let's put our swordsman right up front with his big sweeping attack. Okay. So, Javelin guy has a spear attack, but I think he has to target the character in front of him, which means I should be able to put her right here. And that will soften him up a little bit. And then I've got 1 extra point. And we can use the boar to soak an attack from this point. And then I'll put the werewolf down this next turn, probably. Put the werewolf there. Alright. And we can put him in again, or I can throw her out there. He's got an attack that deals 18, or she's got a ranged attack that deals 14 that lets me target. I think it makes sense to just throw him up front because he's got so much shielding. If he takes a hit or two, it's not going to be the end of the world. Alright. So, see how this goes. I can actually slow this down just a little bit. Alright. Wasn't terrible. We did lose some health on our Choosen, unfortunately. But we did get some food. We found a lesser gathering tool. which is actually okay. And we found some weapon block protective pendant. It's actually pretty good. And a crafting tool. This is a percent-based crafting tool, which would not be very useful on any of our characters right now, but maybe down the line it will be. And if not, we can always break it into the amber and sandstone. Cool. Also, the wisps. This is not what we want to do. I don't think we can beat these guys because I don't have enough purple attacks. I think we're gonna have to forfeit, which just sucks. Oh, that really sucks. Crap. Well, we may have just killed ourselves. We'll see. I'm gonna have to set up camp. And, oh good lord, she is hurt bad. Alright, we need all of our food unchecked here. Ugh. What else can I do? Equipment wise, I can throw that on her for future encounters, but not going to do much help now. And then this can actually go on her as well to give her a little bit of gathering. And we're going to be here for a little while as everybody heals up, unfortunately. Which means we need a couple people gathering wood. And if we're gathering wood that quickly, then research can probably be done. I don't think we're going to be here for 11 turns. Six turns, maybe. Yeah, that'll work. We'll get some wood every 3 turns here. And hope we don't die. Okay, that's good. We'll go with the perception, and then she did not roll good again. What is her strength? Her strength's only 4. I'm willing to take the 2 strength here. I'm almost willing to take the 2 strength here just to get her health up higher. That will increase her health pool, which might actually help her live. Also, we're becoming encumbered. We can probably fix that by breaking some of our items down into their constituent parts. Alright, she's healed up enough that we don't need to camp anymore, so that was a bullet dodged. We're not ready to fight that. We're going to need to get our purple capabilities up if we want to do that. I was going to do 3 turns because we were going to get the research done, right? How many turns do we have left on this? What? 4 turns. I guess it was 6. 6 and 3, that's what it was. She's still pretty hurt, and we can't heal if we don't stay camped, so we're going to continue to do this for a few turns. Is there anything I can cook? Yes. Actually, no. because I don't have any berries. Alright. So basically we're just going to grind out 4 more turns. 1.
You come to a place torn up by tremors. Surrounded by deep chasms in the ground, the creature turns to you.
Right.
Achmu I am. I have known. The earth shook, the holes came, and the swamp was great.
Alright, so this is the Princess and the Toad quest. Basically, the Frog Prince. Gotta take him to a witch. Definitely go with the strength for him. 2 turns on that, that's fine. 1 and 2. And that should be our research done as well, right? We're 1 turn away for some reason. Also, she's almost fully healed, so I guess it's fine. We'll do 1 more turn to get that research
You
done.
wake to find some of your goods missing.
Ooh. Track the thieves.
With your skill in tracking, the previous night's rain has no impact. You know exactly where to look for the thieves, and you know they were likely human, judging by the size and depth of the tracks.
Mark them on the map and move out. Alright, so... where are they at? Is it that mark? Confused. This is the only mark that popped up though, so it's gotta be that one. Run to kill it. The spider turns to face you and stands protectively between you and the boy. This is the spider quest. We could help them out. Alright, we'll just wish them well. I don't really want to mess with that. What I want to do is get to that tile right there, and we don't have enough movement to this turn, so I gotta wait a turn. That's fine. I want to get a bunch of quests done and level up really quick. Investigate, use our muscles to break in, auto-resolve that. In, search the chamber, fight the ghoul. We're tough and we're bad and we can kill these things, no problem. What kind of loot did we get? Ooh, an iron relic. Some iron and some heavy sandstone armor. Trash quality. Alright, well, I don't know which mark that camp was, but we're going to go to this one next. Attempt the trial. I'll accept that outcome. Take a little bit of... oh, never mind. We got a ghost, and we got spiritual blessings. The ghost, huh? Our very own ghost. Increases max faith and mysticism. I can't remember if the ghost is a better pet than the boar. I guess it is in the sense that the boar cannot be used in purple combat, but the ghost can. So we'll swap that out. And then, just because I'll throw the boar here, it's unlikely that we'll use him too often because this character has such high armor. I'd probably rather play him twice. And then in terms of armor, yeah, this is just not very good for anybody. And it's probably way too heavy for anybody to really carry, so... Actually, she can equip it. This is 5 shielding in all types of combat. This is only 15 in red, though. I think I would prefer the 5 in all. But I will have the opportunity to swap some of these out. Before certain combats, anyways. So yeah. Looks good so far. We're leveling up quite quickly. I really don't need to worry about this right now. We're going to go with gathering and crafting. I have a really hard time figuring out which tile these are actually in sometimes. Move the debris, auto-resolve, gather what you can. Some herbs, that's kind of nice. Alright, so... this one?
The Shmoo directs you to an old straw hut sitting on
There
a
we
chicken
go.
leg, surrounded by low. You walk towards.
Yes, yes, gone they are, all of them. A reward? Hardly. Why should I pay for a stinking toad? But leave him here if you like. Then all the demons and creatures from the swamp either died or left. The toad is a witness, but he is stupid in this form. So if
The curse breaks, and the Kmuch turns into a tall young man with golden fins and gills.
Cool.
His eyes
I actually
sparkle like
remembered
gems.
how to do that one.
Thank the waters, that was insufferable. I am a Vodnik. I was courting a Rusalka, and it's strictly forbidden, you see. I tried to get it on with another... Yes. He looks playfully at you. So your story speaks of marriage to the prince, right? Or kissing, at least. Yeah, no marriage, but I'm willing to give you my lips and more for a night.
Politely decline.
I never could refuse a pretty face, and that's what got me into this mess, I suppose. Still, one never learns, it seems. Here's my reward, and fare thee well, my lovely friend. If ever you come by my pond, please visit, and do stay away from the wretched light.
Alright, we'll just
The
thank him
witch who
say
came with
goodbye.
you.
Alright, cool. So we got that, and equipment. Another one of these necklaces. This one's not as good, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on her character so she has a little bit more shielding in case she does end up in a combat. And then we got a ring. 80 increased personal carry limit. The only character that can use this at the moment is the warrior, and it doesn't really benefit him because he's already able to carry everything that he has. But I think it increases our overall carry limit for the party, so that's actually not bad. And then we found this, which actually might be reasonable replacement for her wand. Not really. It is a hammer attack, but it can't be used in red combat. So, yeah, it's just not as good. If we go to inventory, we can see what our total carry capacity is at now. So the more characters you have, the more you can carry, and this number is generated from your individual characters' carry weights. There are a few other buffs that will improve these items and whatnot, pets. But we're in pretty good shape. I can break down a lot of this garbage material stuff if I wanted to. So like, we're never going to use these javelins. We're never going to use that bow, or that bow, or that relic, or that wand. The hatchet I might hold on to, and the sword I might hold on to. The leather scroll actually has... If we did end up with a character that was mysticism, that could be helpful. It's not a good idea to throw those away. And again, we could end up with another character, a child or something, so I'll keep the rest of those items for now. We have a lot of iron. And we have a lot of silver. And a very small amount of mithril. I really want to craft that ring. It might be best to wait till autumn to craft a ring at this point, though. I'm not sure. Definitely not going to be able to accomplish it this game, or this video, I mean. But we will consider how we want to go about doing that. I need to get down to the curve game. That's the next thing on my list of things to do. And we are out of movement points, so we'll just turn here again. Alright, he leveled up. We'll go with another point of toughness. And go. Try and push our way through. Alright, +1 strength on Isa. And some more experience. Notice the points on the experience are a little bigger. That's because of the double XP effect. Leopold's direction lead you to a small pond. This is where the ever-elusive Munch lives. We have demon or perception. Munch are attuned to suffering. If you hurt yourself and try to make it look and feel real, it may come to you. Sure. Something moves in the bush nearby. You feel you are being watched. We don't want to kill him. See the Munch watching you from afar, but still unwilling to come closer. Fruit. So this is one of the other cool parts I like about the game. Depending on what's in your inventory or what your character god combination of nature versus harmony versus magic, you know, all of those things give you different options to pick in these different trials, which is a really cool way to do sort of the choose your own adventure style of questing. And it makes for some rather interesting and unique experiences occasionally when you do something in a different way or you have a different party. We'll just try to talk to him. That seems to work out okay. Alright. So he gives us the tooth. That gets us into the curve game. Yeah, there we go. Alright, now we're just looking for more opportunities to do quests and also clear space and get away from the Lightbringers because they're dangerous, as we found out earlier. When you can fight them in physical combat, they're not too bad, but the purple combat for us is pretty difficult right now. We don't have any characters that are great in it. Also, something is flashing over here on the map that indicates a quest. And so there is another quest up here. That's probably where we need to go for the curve game. This is part of that quest as well. You were sent by Leopold. Maybe I pay you and you kill that twat. Why? He's a stalker. So you're the one who set up Leopold, huh? We're not interested in their little games. I think we'll just leave. Dang, she keeps getting strength. She finally got her key stat, which is Destiny. That's the one I want to increase on her. The question is, do we want to increase strength another 2 points, or do I want to go for something like wits and make her even quicker? Intelligence is also an interesting stat. It does give us more yellow health, which is actually pretty reasonable. What are her wits at currently? 3.9. This is actually a pretty substantial amount of wits. When you only have 4 points and you get 25% more wits is not bad. We'll go with that. Alright, and we needed to get all the way back up here, it looks like, so... And then... Oh, what was I thinking here? We're gonna get to that, but... What else did I need to do? I can't remember. I had something else in mind I was thinking of right before I ended that turn. It's not item related.
You track the thieves to this location and find an old abandoned ruin of a house.
That's where the thieves went. Okay.
As you come in closer, you sense the unmistakable presence of a demon here. A creature lurks under the remains of the front door. He skulks at you, then repeats in a mocking tone.
Hello there, creature. I wish you no harm. Let's talk. Stop it! Immediately!
Sigh and say that you must be one of those demons. We know something of demon lore. Speak the words, I curse you thrice, I bless you twice, so I pay the speaker's price. Be free to speak to me, or beat the creature up and tell him to give you your goods. That sounds more like a Horz thing to do.
It was a hassle to capture the Harhalek, but you finally do it, and now he lies at your mercy. It is quiet for once.
Alright, we have our stuff back.
The demon lets out a sigh of great relief, but he still looks nervous.
You called the law. I am unbound for now. Speak quickly, for it does not last much.
Ask.
If I did, I cannot say. I do what I don't. I am bound.
The Hahalek looks saddened.
I was, twice. The earth shakes, houses die. I bound myself to other services. I cannot say less.
This is a new one for me. I'm reading. I should be reading it out loud for you guys, but I'm getting kind of tired, so I think we're gonna wrap this one.
Oh, I am no guardian demon. Was bound to take and carry it to the masters, not to guard.
You take stolen goods you find inside the house. There is some extra, clearly taken from others. You see a lot of torn out feathers and fur and specks of blood in the house. And when you look at the Hahalek, you see it does look very patchy.
Let's see if we can get another quest from him.
I unsaid. The ground shook, broke houses. New job. I am no sad, no happy. I am.
Okay. No new job, but at least we got some more XP. And I don't have any more movement that's relevant, so turn. We'll do just a couple more turns. We're coming up on 2 hours. Wow. I can go strength again. Yeah, let's just keep pumping strength. That's his main attribute. Fight the goblins. We're not friends with goblins. This is easy peasy. Ooh, coal. Alright, well, we're gonna have to spend some time dealing with our weight capacity because we're now overburdened. And we can do that a couple different ways, but I think actually this is a good place to go ahead and end the video. So we'll pick this up next time where I'll decide how to deal with our encumbrance problem. Since we killed the humans, we can't trade with them, so that's a bit of an issue, but maybe we can find the Stinger camp and become friends with them and see if we can't trade with them instead. So looking for the Stinger camp might be our next major objective. But yeah, I think we'll play this one for a while and see how it goes. And then in between, I may sprinkle in some more Endless Space 2. I do have a few things that I'm working on off camera to show you guys with Endless Space 2 again. So hopefully some of that comes to fruition and I got some new strategies and some new things to look at. If nothing else, there's always Horatio. So until next time, this has been TheNosePlays, and you guys have a lovely day.